Welcome to the cockpit. My name's Ryan, and I'll be your pilot tonight. I am not joined alongside any co-pilot tonight because the Jets X Factor guys are busy, so I'm flying solo, hanging out with you guys. And it's good to have the old setup back. Feels like we're throwback a little bit right here. Edward, Rusty, Emanon, Rockaway Archie. What's up, boys? Thank you so much for tuning in. So I'm going to do my monologue for a little bit. What's up, Marcus? I'm going to do my my outer monologue for you guys to listen to. On the inside of your ears. Stud City, Tom, Joe West. What's up, boys? Thank you for coming in. So I'll give you guys my thoughts on the game. Some, things after having a night to digest everything and kind of thinking up everything, where I sort of stand. So the New York Jets lose to the Philadelphia Eagles 18-33. But overall, I thought we could take away some really nice things from this game. We could also not take away a whole lot of nice things on the defensive side of the ball. So I understand where people are frustrated with that, and rightfully so. Along with the officiating, too. The officiating has been atrocious. Absolutely terrible. Let's see. Eddie, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, Bills or Patriots tonight? I hate Bill Belichick, like, with every ounce of my being. So, I'm saying I want the Bills to win. Definitely want the Bills to win. I don't have as much, like, hatred for the Bills. I think we've all kind of stunk. Ant Jets 82. What's up, brother? Member of the channel. First class tiers says, love the channel, Ryan. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out and always commenting in the chat. No, ideally, Eddie, Bills or Patriots. I hope they tie and both quarterbacks look horrible and both teams look terrible. That's my God honest truth. We're going to do this till about 9 o'clock tonight. Then I'm going to hop off. I'm going to watch some Monday Night Football. That's where this is headed. I miss watching the football games when I have the Monday streams. Overall, positive takeaways. So let's go through the position groups. We'll start with quarterback. I really liked what we got out of Zach Wilson yesterday. I think it was a nice step in the right direction. And if he can kind of stack games little by little by little, one game, then the next game, then the next game, then the next game, and you just have positive thing after positive thing over the course of the end of the season, really. Like, you just want to see him improve on little tiny things. And then it, factors into like this huge picture, right? So I thought he did well. I thought he learned from some of his mistakes in the past. You saw him kind of rip the ball on a short slant early on, and then he kind of dialed it back a little bit when he came back a few plays later. Then I think you also saw him try to run with the ball where he almost did the flip play. And I don't think... Well, I think he thought twice about it. I think he realized what happened last time and he wound up with the interception. I think he realized, I'm not going to do that again. Learning from your mistakes. This is what we want to see. And overall, his stats for the season look bad because of the 4-interception game against the Patriots. Flat out. That skews a lot of things. So you take those away. What does he have? 11 interceptions total on the year? So you take those 4 away. He's only got 7. And that's a little more palpable. Or a little easier to swallow, is what I should say. So overall, I did like his play. I think there were a lot of drops that did not help him. I do think he's a little bit off as far as his accuracy of touch. He's maybe like a foot off. Like, all the passes are catchable for his receivers, but he's not making it real easy on his receivers. They got to contort their body a little bit. We'll get into it in just a little bit with Corey Davis. But Corey Davis is out with core injury. And I thought his was more of a drop, but maybe he hurt his core, and that's why he wasn't able to reach all the way like we thought he might have been able to. But overall, I liked what I saw out of him. Not a crazy game, but I thought he protected the ball well for the most part. I thought he had some nice placement. It looks like he's really starting to make a connection with Elijah Moore, which is really big considering Corey Davis is no longer playing for the season. So there's that. Running back wise, Tevin Coleman got I shouldn't say a heavy dose. He only had 11 rushes. And we had, I think, 14 or 15 rushes total, including one Elijah Moore end around. So the running game really didn't do anything too crazy yesterday. But I think we finished at like over 4 yards a carry. So it really wasn't like a bad outing for the running game. It just, that third quarter really ruined a lot for us. Because I think we didn't get the ball back. What did Wilson have? A minute 20 of time of possession in the third quarter? It's insane. Absolutely crazy. So running game wise, I'm looking forward to getting Michael Carter back. I think it's going to be important to have him start to grow with Elijah Moore and Zach Wilson on the field at the same time with our buddy AVT. So we'll see. Wide receiver wise, Elijah Moore is a special receiver. This guy can make all sorts of plays. I'm really excited. Joe S says I'm afraid to get an Elijah Moore jersey. Dude, me too. I would love to get one. I am very much afraid. I do not want to jinx it. I want to see this guy perform really well, for an extended period of time before I pull the trigger on a jersey because I don't want to give him the kiss of death. Jamison Crowder had a few nice grabs. Braxton Berrios competing on the special team side of things had a few nice returns. The opening kickoff going 79 yards was a really nice thing to see. Tight end wise, we don't have any. not a lot going on. Ryan Griffin caught a touchdown. That was cool. Overall, offensive line I thought played well. It's a shame LDT went down with an injury. He's got an ankle injury. It doesn't seem like it's too serious, so I think that's, obviously a good thing. But I do think that him being in the starting lineup is imperative for us to have more success on the ground. And I think having Greg Van Roten back out there does not give me the warm and fuzzies. Let's see. Did I miss any groups on the offensive side of the ball? No. Let's go defense. Defensive side of the ball. Not a good showing. Again, this is like a constant trend. But I'm okay with that. I really am. Oh, I shouldn't say I'm okay. I'm not okay with having a bad defense. But I am okay with losing because of our defense. Because we're missing LaMarcus Joyner. We're missing Carl Lawson. We're missing Vinny Curry. We're without some of our other guys on the outside. And Eccles and, Nasser Dean and Sherwood. Like all these guys that we had kind of penciled in early on in the season, we're sort of without right now. So if there's one way for us to lose, I would prefer it to be on the defensive side of the ball. Now, the push up front, John Franklin Myers and Quinnen Williams, I thought were very lackluster yesterday. I didn't think there was anything crazy. It felt like the Eagles were just able to do whatever they wanted on our defense. Like Minshew was able to be super efficient. He was like 20 of 25, had like 250-ish yards, something like that. And he was a perfect, I think, 10 for 10 to start the game before he had his first interception. First incompletion. So not ideal on the defensive side of the ball. The linebackers, it's weird because I really like Quincy Williams a lot. And Mosley, I don't mind. I thought he's played well for the beginning part of the season, but really like since, I guess, I don't know if it's the bye week or whatever, I felt like the defense really has kind of fallen apart. And it seems like the speed or lack thereof at the linebacking core has really been an issue, particularly in pass coverage. You saw Mosley get beat deep yesterday on the first touchdown to Goddard. Not what you want to see. Cornerback-wise, I like Bryce Hall. I felt like the penalty he got in the, third or fourth quarter, whatever, set up the first down for the Eagles, I thought was a ticky-tacky pass interference call. I didn't think it made a whole lot of sense. Even after the but after they showed the replay, I was like, really? Like, you're going to call that? Like, there's so many more egregious penalties that happen throughout a play that, like, that's not really one you want to call. Unless you really want to screw the Jets, right? That's where we're at. I don't know. Safety-wise, we need help. We did get our lone sack from Elijah Riley, the new signee off the Eagles practice squad. So you got a little bit of a, I guess if you want to call it a redemption game. I would say that our safety position is definitely lacking. Ashton Davis needs to learn how to wrap up because he was one that put a big-time hit on Dallas Goedert on that first touchdown but didn't wrap up, so he was able to kind of go away. Got to finish your tackles. Not tackled until the guy's on the ground. Ashton Davis, I'm hoping by the time this season is over, can at least make me feel comfortable starting him at one of the safety positions. That would make me feel better. I do think we need to address safety in a big way this offseason. And I would go so far as to say, depending on where our top 2 picks are, right now we're sitting at 4 and 5 in the draft. There's a potential that the Jets could get a really nice edge rusher and Kyle Hamilton, the safety from Notre Dame. I was not on board with that for a long time because I have some PTSD from the Jamal Adams thing. But I do think that there is some value in getting a weapon at safety when you are clearly lacking in that position, especially a safety that could come up and play in the box. Like, this is a team that could, I know it's weird to say, but could use a better version of Jamal Adams. Someone that can come up in the box and create a little bit of havoc, but can also play the safety position. And that's kind of where, I give Jamal a little bit of flack for. Overall, some positives, some negatives, basically what I kind of expected out of the Jets this entire year. Head coaching-wise and decision-making-wise, I like that we saw a lot of fire out of Robert Saleh this week. But I got to say, I'm a little confused as to why this team was preparing for Jalen Hurts and not even the potential of Gardner Minshew playing. Like, you're talking right up till the day before. We found out yesterday, or 2 days ago, I guess now. 2 days ago, that Gardner Minshew was playing. And you guys had not the slightest clue. Like, the team that's supposed to be watching the other team, come on. Didn't know this guy was injured. Prepping for the wrong quarterback. Now, I get what they're saying, and they're saying that the offense didn't really change all that much. Minshew ran a little bit, not as much as Hurts, but overall they kind of stuck with what they were going to do with Hurts in anyway. So maybe it's not as big of a deal, but it felt like a little bit of an oddity. Kicking-wise, not good. And we find out today the Jets signed kicker Eddie Pinheiro. He was just hanging around. Last played in 2019. He was 1 for 1 on field goals from inside 19 yards. 8 for 8 from 20 to 29 yards. He made 9 of 10 from 30 to 39 yards. And he made 3 of 7 from 40 to 49 yards. He was 2 for 2 on 50-plus yard field goals. 93% on extra points. So Kessman, his 2 kicks that he had in the pros probably won't get signed. Maybe he'll have a tryout somewhere next year. But clearly this guy's better at the extra point side of things. Now, I will say this. His 40 to 49 yard, where he's made 3 of his 7 kicks, that has me alarmed because that's basically where we were with Amendola. And I think Amendola has a lot of talent. He's someone that, if he's not on the practice squad, I really would like him to be on the practice squad. You hold on to those talented guys and you just kind of figure it out. Oh, look, Green Bean's here. What's up, Green Bean? He says, hey, you guys, see the Xmas balls on this guy's logo? Would you look at that? Yes. I didn't switch it out on here, though. I should have switched out here. I didn't switch that one out. Maybe I can switch that out now. Let's see if I can do that. I don't know if I did that or not. Let's see. Get all holly jolly on you guys. See, it might create like a really big logo. Bam! Look at that. That's some holly jolly, Christmassy, logo-y stuff. Xmas balls. Yeah, look, kicker Eddie Pinheiro. We got to figure out this kicking situation because we have signed. This is now our 9th kicker in 5 years. 9 kickers. You're basically saying 2 kickers a year is where you're at. That is awful. If you told me over a 5-year span we'd have 9 kickers, I wouldn't have believed you because the Jets had a pretty nice run on kickers for at least a little bit, right up until we let Myers go. Although I am curious, how is he doing this year? Let's see what he's all about. This year with Seattle. Ooh, he's making 64% of his kicks, the lowest of his career. So I guess that makes me feel a little bit better about not having signed Jason Myers, a few years ago. I mean, we could have had some really good seasons. He was 100% accuracy last year, 24 of 24. This year, he is 9 of 14. Adam Gase says, "Can I be your kicker?" No. Get out of here, Adam Gase. Absolutely not. Will not allow that. I want you as far away from here as possible. Then we got Corey Davis, done for the season with a core muscle injury. He winds up finishing his season playing in 9 games. Had a total of 492 yards. That is his lowest since his rookie year. He had 4 touchdowns, which is just one shy of his season high, believe it or not. So we should be able to get more out of him in future years. And then you're looking at his catch percentages. He finishes with a catch percentage of 57.6. He had a lot of drops. I'd have to really dive deep and figure out how many drops he has on the season. But 57% is not where you want to be. The last 2 years, he was at 62.3 and 70% catch percentage. So you want to see that kind of come up come up a little bit. You want to see it come up a little bit. What do we do at wide receiver? I'm looking forward to this a little bit because, look, we have Corey Davis. I kind of know what he is and what to expect out of him. But I do like that Mims is going to see more playing time. I think Mims seeing more playing time is big time for us because we needed to get a little bit more of an idea of who he is. And Green Bean has said this a bunch of times, so I'm going to reiterate it. Denzel Mims has not dropped a pass from Zach Wilson. He's dropped a bunch of passes from our backup quarterbacks, Mike White, Josh Johnson. I don't know if he had a drop from Flacco. Maybe. But he hasn't dropped a pass from Zach Wilson. So now maybe that Corey Davis is out. Mims can slide out there. Maybe show us what he's got. Elijah Moore is still going to be our number 1. Braxton Berrios and Jamison Crowder are going to be on the field pretty much all the time. I'm curious to see what happens with Keelan Cole. I like Keelan Cole a lot, but it feels like Elijah Moore is kind of taking Keelan Cole's spot. If you wanted your best receivers on the field and you didn't necessarily want to see what happened, Green Bean says only Josh Johnson. Sorry, only Josh Johnson is who he dropped passes from. He caught every pass from all his other quarterbacks this year. So if I'm looking at who has earned the right to be in these starting wide receiver roles, I would pick Elijah Moore, Keelan Cole, Jamison Crowder, Braxton Berrios over Denzel Mims. Denzel Mims would be my 5th receiver right now. But that being said, I do think it's way more important that we see Denzel Mims on the field, playing in this offense, seeing him get some reps with the first team, maybe building some chemistry with Zach Wilson. I think that's far more advantageous to this regime and our long-term goal here than plugging in someone like Keelan Cole, who's only on a 1-year deal, or Jamison Crowder, who's only playing on the last of his 1-year deal, or not last of his 1-year deal. He's in the last year of his deal. Those lights keep blinking behind me. Right up here. But they're not actually blinking. They're all on. It's just because I'm moving around and it's like flickering different things. Interesting. I like the Christmas lights. I'm a big fan of this. What we got? Ibrahim John, thank you for your super chat. It says, as a Jets expert, do the Jets have any player on offense that's top 15 at their respective positions? I'm pretty sure McGovern, if you look at PFF, and that's not like a full-blown way to grade anyone, but at least it grades the whole league. I think he's playing like a top 10 center right now, or at least the last few weeks he has been. So maybe you argue McGovern. Fant has played really well. I would say Fant right now is playing like a top-tier tackle. Is it top 15? I'm not so sure. Any player on offense? Probably not, I would say. I would bet there's 15 more receivers that you'd probably take over Elijah Moore in a one-game scenario or in a season-long scenario. You guys are saying all AVT. AVT's a good one. I think let's see where he's at. I'm curious where he's at. Let's see. This is why I love being able to pull up all these stats. All right. 𝐷𝐿𝐴 Man, if you could tell me that we could have gotten Elijah Vera-Tucker for Jamal Adams straight up, I probably would have done it. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but it definitely feels right. You guys can let me know what you think about that. You guys say Mekhi Becton when he's healthy. Yeah, 100%. Let's see. Elijah Vera-Tucker. Where are you? So, at least according to Pro Football Focus, and you can take this with a grain of salt, he's ranked as the 36th best guard in the league right now. And that's including left guards and right guards. He's actually, that makes no damn sense. They have Greg Van Roten 0.4 ahead of him. Get the fuck out of here. No way. Sorry, I'm done with this. I'm not looking at Pro Football Focus. Flawed logic. AVT is an absolute beast. Very happy with his production so far. This guy's fast, too. Billy McLean says, is there a call-in number? I haven't gotten that far yet. And I didn't set up this to work as the call-in show. I should have. Really should have. But I think I'll probably just talk to the chat tonight. I'll just communicate with you guys, because every time I try to do the phone call thing, it doesn't necessarily work. And now that I'm going back to this setup, I have to figure out how to do a video conference call that doesn't lag. And then I could throw you guys on here. Joe Campone says, ask the linebacker that AVT mauled this week. What else you guys? Green Bean for MVP. Green Bean's top 15, 100%. The Mick 00700? Is that how you would say that? 00700? Lame Cactus asks, when do call-ins start? Your boy didn't set it up properly. So, sorry. What else I got on here? I took a whole bunch of notes. This is what happens when I'm watching the game. I wind up scribbling down all these notes. 0-12 versus the Eagles. Ugh. What else we got on here? Probably missing something. How about us getting 3 touchdowns on the first 3 drives? Must be nice. Doesn't happen often. Is that what offense is supposed to look like? Because I like it. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got, I guess. It's as far as notes. I've just rambled so much. There it is. That's why I need to hear what you guys have to say. Passionate CJ, you can get fucked. He says, go birds. No, sorry, dude. Who else we got? Joe S. says, Fant is having a good year. Fant is having a really good year. He's got 1 more year left on his contract. I believe we could save $9 million if we were to cut him next year. I don't expect that to happen. Joe Douglas strikes me as the leading force behind the Eagles and their tackle history. So remember, the Eagles, when they drafted Andre Dillard in the first round, they had Lane Johnson and Jason Peters at their tackle positions. So we know JD loves his offensive linemen. Joe Campone says, are you signing Crowder? I would like to bring Crowder back. I don't know if he would want to come back for what I'd be willing to pay him, because I think Braxton Berrios is not necessarily as good, but I think he can contribute on special teams, and that might be a little more valuable than having, say, both of them. I like Crowder, though. I would move on with Crowder if he wanted to stay on like a 2-year deal. How much money? I think he's getting paid like $3 million this year. So if he would sign another 2-year deal for, I don't know, let's call it $7 million, $8 million, I'd be pretty happy with that. Anthony says, cut Fant, draft the other side of the line. We might be set there. I don't want to cut Fant. I would rather move Fant back over to the right-hand side. You have Becton start on the left, Vera Tucker at left guard, McGovern at least for another year at center. I do think we wind up making a move for a center this offseason, probably in the draft, maybe in the second, third round. I would like to see that. I think at least starting to groom someone for when McGovern might be gone. Maybe someone who has played a little guard, so that way it's not so much a slap in the face like, hey, we don't trust you, McGovern. No. We'll see. We will still add bodies to the offensive line because we're not going to – there's a good shot Morgan Moses isn't going to be back next year. He gave up 2 sacks yesterday. Not great. Zachary Berner says, what are your thoughts on Joe Brady being let go? I was disappointed. I like Joe Brady a lot. I think he was made the sacrificial lamb because of how poorly that team has performed, mainly from the quarterback perspective. Like Sam Darnold stinks. Cam Newton, I think he's washed up. Yeah, he had a nice little revival for like a week or two, week and a half. That was about it. And then you got, PJ Walker's the other quarterback? Dum. Dum, dum. No, I would like to see Joe Brady get another shot somewhere. I think he probably goes to the college ranks. I don't know if he'll hang around the NFL this time around. He was with the coaching staff at LSU. I believe it was LSU when Burrow went off. So maybe you see that. It's possible. We could go over some of the top free agents coming up as well. I did see a article on all the impending free agents and where they think guys should be ranked or what they should be paid, and maybe where the Jets could kind of go. It's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting for sure. Ibrahim John, thank you for the super chat, brother. I will throw your comment on the screen as soon as it pops through my little feed over here. All right, here it goes. What do we got? Davante Adams is a free agent. Would he be worth a $22 million a year deal for the Jets if he signed it? I don't love the idea of signing. Oh, hold on. I really like Davante Adams a lot. I don't know if I love the idea of spending a ton of money on wide receiver. I think this team wants to be built through the offensive line and defensive line, and I think you spend your premium money there in those spots. Wide receiver, I think you're looking for probably someone who's a little bit more shifty, maybe someone like a Chris Godwin, who will probably also get a good amount of money too. Maybe Juju winds up fitting in this type of scheme. Who knows? Is he even playing? I don't even know if he's playing right now. I haven't watched many Steelers games. But Davante Adams, $22 million a year if he signed it. I'm gonna say no. I don't know. I don't think I'd bring in Davante Adams for $22 million a year. I think we have a lot of other problems that $22 million could really go towards. Like you could split that up and get 2 serviceable starters, like pretty decent starters, at $11 million each a year. And that would probably go further than just having Davante Adams. But that being said, if it helps turn Zach Wilson into a freak quarterback, 100% for it. Definitely for it. Rachel Williams says Adams not coming to the Jets. Yeah, I think we could probably all agree on that. Let's see. Maurice Johnson says Wilson stunk up the whole second half. I disagree. I don't think that's how that happened. He didn't play at all the third quarter. He had the interception, and of course that's bad. But by and large, he kind of continued what he was doing. The Jets' defense was just so bad that we were put in such a bad hole. So I'm not upset with how Wilson played at all yesterday. John Perez, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. He says, trade C.J. Mosley to get the contract off the books. Yeah, I would love to. It's not going to happen, though. C.J. Mosley, let me get the actual contract in front of me so I'm not blowing smoke, but I think he's due, like, I think if you trade him, I think he's $16 million a year for whoever gets him. Yeah. So if we were to trade him, we would have to eat, what is that, almost $5 million. We'd have about a $5 million dead cap hit, and the team taking him on would have a $16 million cap hit. Let's see where that ranks among linebackers. $16 million would make him the fifth highest paid on an average annual salary. So I would say C.J. Mosley is not playing like the fifth best linebacker in the league, and I think it would be ill-advised for anyone to trade for him. And I don't know how many more trades we're going to actually get offered because Joe Douglas is one slick son of a bitch. Because this guy, for whatever reason, guys keep trying to trade with him, and he keeps fleecing them. He's going to open up a North Face store. He's going to open up an outlet. Hey, you want your fleece? Jamal Adams, Sam Darnold, Dan Brown, Avery Williamson, Jordan Willis. Is that who we sent over? Jordan Willis to the 49ers. Whole bunch of different trades. I'm sure I'm missing some too. Draft day trade's pretty good. Cannot complain. But I would love to move on from C.J. Mosley this offseason, but I think we're kind of stuck with him for one more season. And I'm not totally banged up by that. I do think that the veteran presence is probably important, and he's like the veteran guy on our defense. I mean, Carl Lawson will be at some point, and Quentin Williams. That's where you want to have your foundation for sure, but I don't see it. Green Bean says the Jets D gave up 9 points in the last 2 second halves combined. Interesting. Do you think that is because of coaching adjustments made at halftime or teams taking their foot off the gas? Because I didn't see the Eagles pressing too hard. They were able to go for 229 yards and a touchdown just by going to their running backs, whether that be through the air or on the ground. So I don't know if I'm going to sweeten myself up with the 9 points in the last 2 second halves combined, but I like it, John. All right, I like it, Green Bean. This is what happens when I'm trying to read and do things at the same time. Let's see. Stud City. Jets should check in on a DK Metcalf. What's the asking price? I would imagine it would have to be a first-round pick, right? And I'm not giving up a top 10 pick for DK Metcalf. I like him a lot. I wanted him that year in the draft. I would have taken him in the first round. He fell to the second. That's crazy. Marist Old Boys says, O.J. Howard in free agency or Weidemeyer in the second round. I would like to address tight end, both in free agency and in the draft. I think we need that much help. I would love Kenny Yeboah to be like the third tight end with a chance to possibly do better, but I think this offense desperately needs a playmaker at that position, and I think Zach Wilson deserves a playmaker at that position. You're talking a 6'5" to 6'6" tight end that could, create mismatches on heavier linebackers, smaller corners, safeties. It's all about mismatches, and the Jets don't have any right now. My Holy King says it's not Mosley's fault. There's a lot of young guys around him. Yeah, but he can control what he can control, and I don't know if he's necessarily played super well this year. Like, he's been beat a few times on man-on-man coverage, and that's on him. That's not on anyone else. So we'll see. Taylor Gray says Herndon trade was OP. OP. I don't know what that means. It was awesome. That's what I'm going to pretend it means. Yes, the Herndon trade was good. Joe S. You got a lot of Mike White fanboys in the chat. Zach Talent blows away any quarterback on the Jets. Yeah, look, I like Mike White. I have no problem with him being our backup quarterback. I think it's exciting for the little run that we went on with him for that one game. The 4 days leading up to the Colt game was a lot of fun. A lot of discussion. Zach Wilson's talent pops off the page. Anyone who's supporting Mike White seriously over Zach Wilson probably has not watched many games and is looking more at the box score than anything else, because Zach Wilson is 100% the guy that we should be backing. Let's see. Motivated T, the problem with this defense is the safeties and linebackers front four are relied on for everything. Defense is the safeties and the linebackers front four. Look, the front four, if they're not getting home to the quarterback, we don't have the talent on the back end, both at the safety position or at the linebacker position, to be able to hold our blocks and everything. Or get off our blocks, I guess. So I don't love it. Mumtaz, what's up, brother? Mumtaz has been a member for 20 months on the channel of First Class Tier. Thank you, brother. It's always, always, always appreciated. And in just 4 months, you're going to get the Diamond Jet. You get a Diamond Jet for being a member for 2 years. So very much appreciate all your support. He says interception was bad, but throw right before is what lost the game. No pressure on Zach at all, and Elijah Moore was wide open. If he hits him in stride, he runs away to the 5-yard line. Instead, he missed. Maybe a miss. Look, when I watched that play, I really do think Elijah Moore was held. I think that could have been a penalty. And the very next play, he throws the interception. So it's like, all right, well, what winds up happening? I'm pretty sure I have the right play, unless I'm mistaken. But we did not have many favorable calls. The C.J. Mosley jump off sides, I think there was a very slight hand movement and lean from the center that caused him to jump off sides. I thought the officiating was bad, Mumtaz. And I think because of it, we wound up seeing that interception, because who knows, maybe we call a different play if we get that flag. So I don't love it. Taylor Gray, again, says if Jalen Hurts was starting instead of Minshew, we would have won. I don't believe that. We have a really hard time guarding running quarterbacks, and we even saw Minshew run for a little bit on us, so I don't think we would have been doing that well. Rich Ritter says, how's Trevor Lawrence doing? How is Trevor Lawrence doing? I know he's not doing that well, but I didn't see how he did yesterday, so I can't speak for that. Let's see what his stats are on the season. So week 13, he was 16 of 28 for 57% completion percentage. He only had 145 yards, was sacked twice. What am I seeing? No touchdowns, no interceptions. He really hasn't done well either. So he's got 9 touchdowns, 10 interceptions on the season. Zach Wilson has what? He had 5 before yesterday, so he's got 8 and 11. So he's close. They're neck and neck. Completion percentage has got to be pretty similar, I would think. Yardage-wise, I know Wilson is definitely further behind, but he's also missed a bunch of games compared to Trevor Lawrence. Lawrence is at 2,500 yards. Zach Wilson, I think, is at just under 1,600 yards, I think. I could be wrong. Something along those lines. Trevor Lawrence has taken a lot of sacks. He's had a sack in every single one of his games. 1, 1, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2. So he's getting beat up a little bit. Definitely getting beat up a little bit. K Sutton says, thoughts on punter? Thoughts on punter? Man, it sucks that I shouldn't say it sucks that we spent a 6th-round pick on Braden Mann, because I liked Braden Mann. I thought he was underwhelming last year, but I do think that he had the leg talent. Dude booted, a 70-yard punt at one point? I think he absolutely has the talent to be good. But almost like Amendola, I feel like they're kind of in their own heads. 6th-round pick has a 4% chance of being a starting caliber player on your roster. So, if you were to go with another position, chances are you probably wouldn't have hit on that pick anyway. But man, sure would be nice to have some consistent special teams play. The Jets' special teams for the longest time were so good, whether it be their kicking, their kick returning, or their punting. We've always had strong special teams until this year. No, I shouldn't say until this year. Until probably 3 years ago, whenever we let go of Jason Myers. Then everything kind of fell off. Mr. 𝐗-𝐿𝐴 says, didn't the Bills go through the same thing when Allen was hurt and their backup had a great game? Was like last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember when he had a good game. But I do know that Josh Allen was very shaky his rookie year. And I would say through the first 2 years of his career, I thought he was a bust. Hands down a bust. And I was like, I'm right. Buffalo fans are wrong. And you know what? I was wrong. Sam Darnold's a bust. Josh Allen, definitely better. Definitely better. Delusional Jets fan says Trevor Lawrence scored 1 total touchdowns in 5 games. That is true. The last 5 games, so he played Buffalo, Indianapolis, San Francisco, Atlanta, and the Rams. He has 1 touchdown, 1 interception during that time. He was sacked 11 times in those 5 games. I think that math's right. Zach Wilson. That's what makes me feel a little bit better about the whole Zach Wilson thing compared to Trevor Lawrence. Like Trevor Lawrence, we never had a shot at getting Trevor Lawrence. But those people that were upset with Zach Wilson prior to yesterday, what was the plan? Would you have been happy if we drafted Trey Lance? No. Not the way he's playing. Would you have been happy if you drafted Justin Fields? No. Not on the way he's played. Look, Zach Wilson has had a rough rookie year, but all the rookie quarterbacks have had a rough rookie year, with the exception of Mac Jones, and he's in by far the best situation. Easily the best head coach. Probably the best offensive coordinator. That's without me really looking at who the other coordinators are, but I would think McDaniels is probably one of the best offensive coordinators in the league. They had a really good team at 15th overall, not to mention they got 8 players back from the COVID list. They had 12% of the overall COVID opt-outs last year. So they got those players back, plus they added free agent, plus they added the draft picks. Mac Jones was in a way better situation coming into this year than any one of these other quarterbacks. Rachel Williams asks, how many catches does Denzel Mims have? Not many. I'll say that. Let's see. How many does Denzel have on the season? He's got a grand total of 8. 8 this year. He had 23 last year. He's been targeted 15 times, so he's caught the ball about half the time. It's about on par for where he was last year in terms of catch percentage. Finn says, here's the start with the defense. Don't run cover 1 on 3rd and 19. Dude, Pinnock slipping sucked. I'm watching this game, and I'm thinking 3rd and 19, well, we're going to give that up. We can't stop a nosebleed. And sure enough, fucking goes and happens. I want to be surprised. I don't want to feel like I'm calling this Jets game on bad things. Delusional Jets fan says, yeah, Ulbrich was brain dead for that call. Who plays man on 3rd and 19? Yeah, you got to drop some guys into zone. Just guard the first down marker. There's no reason a slip from Pinnock should have been the sole reason they got that first down. There should have been safety help. There should have been guys standing at that first down line. We gave it up. We can't get off the field on 3rd down. That's been a big issue for us. Let's see what else we got in the chat. Lawrence Wapples says, Braden Man does not have a plant leg. Carolina messed it up. That's why his punts have been sheet. It's certainly possible, I guess. If you can't plant on your plant leg, it's going to throw you off. So maybe it'll take a season or an off season for him to get it straight. But, man, you can't have those 20-yard punts. I feel like we've had a 20-yard punt like in each of the last 2 games. And you can't have that. Let's see. Anthony Falthacanti says, I'd keep our highest draft pick to a premium pick edge rusher or cornerback and maybe trade down our other pick. It also depends on how the draft board falls. So let me pull up Tankathon right now because I like looking at how they do their mock drafts. And right now, the Jets and Seattle, by strength of schedule, are .002 of a difference, I guess, between them. And the Jaguars and the Texans, just above us, are sitting at the same strength of schedule as us. Now, mock draft-wise, they have Thibodeau going 1 to the Lions. They have Evan Neal, the tackle from Alabama, going to the Jaguars. Aiden Hutchinson going to the Texans at number 3. That's disappointing. Derek Stingley Jr., the cornerback for the Jets at 4. Kyle Hamilton, the safety, at 5. I don't like that at all. I would not go corner and safety back to back. If that were the way that board fell, I would probably take... Who would I take? Kyle Hamilton, I think, would be one of my picks. I have to watch more 𝐗-𝐅𝐚𝐜𝐭𝐸. I have not watched him at all, so I don't know where he's at in terms of his edge rushing ability. But I would want to go edge and safety, I think. As much as I've loved Linderbaum, I kind of want to go away from center because of how McGovern's playing and how the offensive line in general is playing. I don't think you need to load up too many assets, premium assets, into that side of the ball. You should be able to hit on some second and third round guys that should be just as serviceable. But yeah, look, I would look to trade down for sure. One of those picks. If Hutchinson is not there, and Thibodeau is clearly, well, we think Thibodeau is clearly going to go in the top 3, if not the first pick overall, then yeah, we consider going down because edge is our top priority for me, and then safety. Their big board overall has Thibodeau number 1, Hutchinson number 2, Evan Neal 3, Stingley 4, Hamilton 5, Matt Corral, the quarterback from Ole Miss, 6, 𝐗-𝐅𝐚𝐜, edge from Purdue, 7, Linderbaum, center, Iowa, number 8, Kenyon Green, Texas A&M, number 9, Andrew Booth Jr., cornerback, Clemson, number 10. So we'll see. Thomas Cahill says that Karlaftis has injury issues. That's why I'm afraid of Stingley. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to touch Stingley because he gives me shades of, like, D. Milner. And I don't want to see that. I do think he's good, but I don't know if he's top 4 good. You got to hit a blue-chip player square in the nose with one of those picks, if not both those picks. And I would much rather not roll the dice on him. And that's after, like, I took Stingley in one of our drafts, but that was with us sitting at 6 and our other pick down at, like, 13 or 14. So that has changed, my opinion. Yoshi says, I disagree with Joe S. Amendola has missed 9 kicks already this season. Can't miss that many kicks. Was it 9 kicks? Is that what he wound up missing? Now I gotta look it up. Amendola. Is it not coming up? I don't want to look up Danny Amendola. There it is. Two M's. That's why I was screwing it up. He's missed 6 kicks. Oh, well, 7 kicks total. 3. He's missed 7 kicks this year. He missed 1 extra point. He missed 3 field goals. He's missed all 3 from 50 plus. And he's missed 3 from 40 to 49 yards. Not what you want to see from your kicker. Not good. I don't care if he can kick it out of the back of the end zone if he can't get it through the uprights. Lawrence Wapples says we need edge and guard. We definitely need edge. Guard, I'm a little... well, we need a guard. Don't get me wrong. LDT is only in his last year of his contract. So I would... Right now, I wouldn't mind bringing him back. I don't know what his injury was. Right now, it's an ankle injury. And someone said he's done for the year, but I don't know if I believe that because I don't think I've seen that reported anywhere. Let's see. Just doing a quick scroll. I don't see that, so I don't think he's done for the year. Seems like he's all right from what I'm gathering. What else you guys talking about? Justice for George, not very happy, says, stop this draft talk. No. I love the draft, dude. Big fan of the draft. Joe says, best case scenario, we trade number 4 and the Panthers second for number 12 and 13 from Philly. And you go Hamilton, Dean, and Green in the first round. Now, why would the Eagles be trading up with us? Because right now they're sitting 12, 13, and 17. And if I were them, I would make all 3 of those picks. Absolutely. Because it looks like you have a quarterback in Jalen Hurts. So I don't think they're going to trade down. I don't think they're going to trade up so we can trade down. And pretty much everyone and their mother is going to have either the Jets, the Giants, or the Eagles trading up with them because everyone wants multiple first-round picks. And the Jets are lucky enough to have them. So, no. I would say the Eagles are not going to trade away those picks. They will make those selections. Maybe they use one of those first and a later pick to move up a little bit, but I don't think they'll give up one of their other first-round picks. My Holy King says the whole 2022 beginning to end Zach Wilson, I'll judge. Yeah, I mean, look, he's a rookie this year. Give him some time to learn. He'll have all his tape in the offseason to go over, and then you'll be able to see what you have going forward. What's this guy going to be? What can he fix in the offseason? Who can we add to make this team better? Blitz Crew says it's hard to be a Jets fan and not a fan of the draft. Right? The draft is like where all our hope comes from. I love the draft. It's my favorite part of the year. 1, because I get to hang out with Matt and O'Leary and all you guys. But 2, it gives me a ton of hope. I love that. The NFL season hasn't given me much hope. So that's why it is. That's why I go to opening day. I go to opening day because there's hope right there. You can sell me hope. But sell me wins, please. Sell me wins. Can't do it. So Value Brooks says, why do people want to draft a safety? We have far bigger problems. That's where I was. I was on board with not taking a safety. I was actually very against it. And I was giving Green Bean a lot of hell for it. And as I started watching the season go on, I would look at this defense and see just how bad it is. And I'm looking at the offense because I would have spent that pick on an offensive lineman for sure. And I can say I'm definitely not in that same boat. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate the offensive lineman with one of the first-round picks. I'm not going to be upset with it. But I do think the impact would be far greater on our win percentage having an effective safety in the secondary that can come up and lay a lick, cause some interceptions, because turnovers are the name of the game. Chess pieces are the name of the game. Mismatches. Those are important. That's the value that Jamal Adams had. The Jamal Adams mismatch It's hard to say a mismatch because he's fast, he's strong. Well, I shouldn't say he's super fast, but he's fast enough to cover most tight ends. His coverage skills just weren't that great. He's a great blitzer off the edge. Having that type of weapon would be nice, but having someone with more of the safety ball skills, I think will be good as well. And I think if you bring in 2 big-time defensive players with these first-round picks, I think you're looking at a really nice foundation for this defense moving forward. And we don't really put a ton of emphasis into our corners. So I'm not like corner hungry with Stingley. We'll see. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time for me to change my mind on this. I haven't done any of my draft research aside from like mock drafts and where I think we might have issues. Blitz News says it's hard. Oh, nope, sorry. I already read that comment. Let's see. Anthony says, guys, I'm planning to go see a game next year. How easy is it to get tickets from Canada? For Jets games, you can get tickets like day of. If you're going opening day, though, generally speaking, those are a little bit tougher. Like I had to pay, I think, $70 for a parking pass. That's normally $30 for a season pass holder. And my one friend who went to go get the parking pass day of, they were trying to sell them for like $250 or $220. I was like, get the flock out of here. After all those processing fees and everything, no way. They parked in the $20 lot and shuttled over there like, we don't need to bring our tailgate stuff. That's fine. Not paying $200. Let's see. What else you guys talking about in here? Lauren says, Ryan for head coach, Green Bean for GM in a perfect world. I could do that. Would love to have Green Bean as my GM. And I could try to rally the troops and I don't know. I don't think I'd make a very good head coach. I think I don't have good coach speak. I just kind of call it the way I see it. Mitch. Thank you so much for the super chat, brother. He says, we have to use free agency on defense. We are way too young to keep going young on defense. Use the draft to complete offense and bring in a vet safety and cornerback. So the safety I'd like us to kind of target is Marcus Williams from the Saints. I'm a big fan of bringing guys in from the Saints. I don't know why, but I've always liked Marcus Williams. Then maybe you have Ashton Davis. Then you're not necessarily going safety in the draft. It kind of depends where we shake down with our draft picks and who they think might be available and how do you balance that with free agency. Because free agency, in an ideal world, you're taking free agency after the draft. But of course, the Players Association is never going to do that because then ideally you could just draft the best player available and then you fill in all your remaining holes with free agents. I will say this, defense, I do want to get a little bit of age there. I think Carl Lawson coming back does provide some of that. I think us holding on to CJ Mosley for another year does provide some of that. So getting younger and faster is not necessarily a bad thing. If you were going to tell me that you're trading Mosley or moving on from Mosley and Lawson's not going to stay healthy, then okay, maybe you look for another vet, someone like a Vinny Curry or someone of that type of caliber that's been around the block. Could just take some of the younger guys under their wing. Use the draft to complete the offense. If I'm looking at the first round, I don't know how I complete the offense. I don't think there's a tight end worthy enough to grab someone that high. And I don't think I would go wide receiver in the first round. Definitely not going running back. I like Michael Carter. You could add another back if you want, but I don't think that's a big need. Offensive lineman, I guess you'd go like one of the tackles or something like that. I don't know. I would prefer this offseason be all about the defense, and then you start balancing it out after this. Thomas Cahill says one more O-lineman, and that would be Icky. Icky as in bad? Or Icky as in sicky? Right? Like maybe it's good, because then you have your left tackle, your left guard, and let's just say your right tackle locked down. If you did that, that's okay. You could take another tackle at the top of the draft. Vance going into his last year. Becton can't stay healthy. So you're going to need some depth there anyway. So I'm curious to see what the Jets do. I do think we still kind of hang around that multiple offensive lineman threshold like we saw this past year. I just don't know if it's going to be that high. So we'll see. All right. Boys and girls, that was a lot of fun. It's past 9 o'clock. I'm going to go hang out. I'm going to go watch some Monday Night Football. I'm going to be back here tomorrow night with our boys, Green Bean and Matt O'Leary. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys a little bit more. We're going to be talking some of this Jets-Eagles game. If you're hanging out here, just hit the like button on your way out. Much appreciated. Thank you guys. JW, FM, Yoshi, 𝐗-𝐅𝐚𝐜, Lawrence, Billy, Green Bean, Sir Mansizer, however you say that, Edward. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys tomorrow.